Hello and welcome to Talking Domination for another week. I don't have any of my usual co-hosts. Daphne has had enough of this trash team and this show and supporting my futile efforts to be successful. The Bards abandoned us, but I am joined by former league champion, the one and only Johnny Fantasy. Welcome to you, Johnny. How are you today?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm very good. Look, you've been making a bit of a name for yourself this year. You're up and about. You're top of the ladder, and you've seemed to inherited all of the smug father's smugness. What's driving this particular smug attitude you're bringing to the season this year?
It's been an enjoyable start to the year, and I guess just when you're winning, it's a good feeling, and you like to get on top while you can, and it's an interesting timing on me coming on the show this week after my first loss of the year.
That's when we bring you on. We've got to kick you when you're down. And speaking of, the next segment known as the Commission Report. Of course, the Commissioner's not here, so this can be your segment. There we go. Untold
like
Johnny Fantasy. Rise,
well,
fall, factor.
Very good. So I've had a look through and I think about this segment for today, and I haven't had a lot of time work-wise and with school holidays, and I was going to originally do it on daylight savings, screwing me over, and usually trying to catch a few games on the Monday mornings and things like that, but it's kind of messed me around. But I think what I'm just trying to see what I've got in front of me. I was looking at what a potential live on-air trade as an option, which is why I'm fiddling around.
On-air trade?
First time ever. And I was thinking about this.
Our sleepers to see if this is happening?
Yeah. I'm trying to work out how to do a trade on my computer as I'm using my phone to stream. Wait a second. I've got it. Just doing it. This trade only just came up in a matter of hours ago, and I haven't had much time to digest it, but I'm just doing it purely for the content, and it's happened.
We love it. Oh, here it is. It's happened. It's a trade. I will bring this up on the show. Hold on. Give me 1 second. I can. Just bear with me, everybody. Here it is. Zoom in. The trade is from myself to Carter Factor. Is this the Kingmaker trade of the season? We hope so. I have given Carter, Johnny Fantasy, Tyreek Hill, Joe Mixon, and old Anthony Richardson. Two of my. I think they're my first 3 picks actually.
It would be, yeah, probably.
To get the stability of a Patrick Mahomes and the sort of reasonably suitable scores from Singletary and Diggs.
Patrick Mahomes, the second overall pick as well.
He is. He's not been performing like the second overall pick.
Definitely not. And it's been a whole bunch of question marks over my season. Although my season started quite well and he is quite reliable, it has been one of those questions I've asked.
Well, you're in one of the fortunate positions to have, and this is part of why this trade came together, I feel, have two good quarterbacks that maybe even occasion not even thinking about starting Mahomes, particularly with Cousins. Now you've got the ability to wait for Richardson to maybe turn it on again at the back end of the year.
Yeah, and it was coming to that where Mahomes was the third ugly sister in the back, maybe not getting the start up each week, but he is quite reliable. I was interested in picking him up this year as getting more receivers, which have now fallen to the wayside with injury and such. But he's always there. He's always going to get some points. But whereas some of the other QBs had a few more question marks on them at the start of the year. But now that Cousins has kind of warmed up a little bit, and I've fallen into Fields. I think Fields is always going to be a bit of a risk going throughout the season. But yeah, I'm in that bit of a luxury spot where I can kind of see if Richardson has that higher ceiling than Mahomes throughout the end of the year.
I think he probably does. I think this is a great trade for the two of us. I think you're in a position to make this trade, to wait on a Richardson, to wait on a Tyreek Hill, for Tua to possibly come back, for Mixon to get back from his injury. And I just need some points now, and I need some more stability in my team if I'm not going to win the Ringo, which is really the achievement I'm trying to get now. Making finals will be very difficult, but I want to be solid at the back end of the year, not just fucking putting up fours.
Yeah, and I do really like Diggs, and it was a good. It felt to me at a good spot, and I'm really enjoying watching Houston this year. So I'm a bit upset about losing him, but I'm not going to complain too much if this trade goes as I hope it will.
Any reactions to it as yet? There's one little. I can't see. Someone's done the eye emoji. I can't see who it is, but we will see that in due course. Look, pleasure doing business with you. I hope it works out for the both of us. I hope I avoid the Ringo, and I hope you win the championship, thus once again making me the kingmaker.
Yeah.
And then we all win. Just give me a second while I bring back.
So I think that was MB2 with the eyes.
He's quite shocked.
I could have done my segment on how annoyed I get with the Halloween symbols on Sleeper at this time of year.
Oh, yeah, they are annoying, aren't they? It's like, I don't care. Just give me the usual stuff. All right. Well, this week's Kingmaker's quote isn't going to be quite as appropriate now that trades happen, but we'll go with it anyway. This one comes from myself. Here I am at the Crow's Western Fairest, holding 2 of Ben Keys' many trophies. He won many trophies that night. My empire has crumbled. The red rifle has misfired. My fab has been wasted. Hill is worthless without Tua. Rice is done for the year. Everybody else sucks. I'm going to settle for stealing awards from average Crows players. The Kingmaker at the Crow's Best.
Very good. It does look like you're squeezing your very saggy breasts from here because I can't see the awards.
You can sort of see the little crow. They're a bit lame, actually.
Yeah.
Like, they're very corporate, like looking like awards. It's a bit lame.
Yeah,
for
they're
the
not
crows.
the most
What do you
luxurious
expect?
awards, are they?
No. Right, on to the winner and loser of this week. Oh, I should put that up. Sorry. It's Jono and Tex. We're looking at this. We're going to be keen to get your insight on both of these guys as the current league leader and former champion as we bring up their teams. And obviously, you hear what I've had to say. And Bard, what do you think of our first team, the winner of this week, Jono, just killing it out from London?
Yeah, I think he would have had a great time out there with this week's results. I'm just going to try and bring his score up because Sleepers still confuses me, even though we've had it for a little while now.
You should have his team in front of you. I can't see it on your phone, maybe.
Oh, no, I've got it here. So just looking at last week's scores, and so what has he got there? Daniels is doing really well. He's going to be happy with that pick. I think that was his first pick, and that's come out on a good side.
I think it was his second pick. I think he picked...
All right.
Who did he pick first?
I think it was Daniels, but anyway, Swift's had a good game for a change, which has probably turned his title. He had a good game the week before as well. Missed that. And
he picked Jalen Hurts first. He picked Jalen Hurts first,
and then
Jalen Daniels. Yeah. It was a great double 1-2 punch for Jono.
And after a lot of smack talking with the Mason and also with Hunt, they've come back and making us all look silly. Hunt's doing really well, and it's hard in our league. He would have been the free agency pickup of the week last week, but those kind of pickups don't happen in our league because it's so shallow. But he has got a few buys this week, and also Pitts came good this week as well after our constant dumping on him. But he did do well to hold him. I guess he had 11 in the first week, and now he's 5, 7, nearly 8, and then 0, and then nearly 16 last week. So he's doing really well.
He's also holding on to Brooks, who will come in, and everyone assumes will be awesome, but who knows? A few weeks ago, he spent some fab money on the Minnesota Vikings, and I think this show we gave him a bit of criticism about it. But they are the number one defense overall now, so I think that's been a huge achievement for him. And I would also give credit to him is the team name's finally good. The London calling, with reference to them being in London, with having Drake London being good now. Like, this is all coming together, Jono.
I'm not sure. Yeah, London scored a TD. It wasn't the first TD of the game, because the first TD was his defense that he was watching play in the live matchup, defense to defense. And I know this because I put some money on the defense to score the first TD, and I watched the game at midnight, and they got that interception, and then Sportsbet came up with it not winning, and I was filthy until the next morning until it cleared, and I'd won some good amount of money, so I was happy.
Well done, Fantasy. It's all coming up for you. Who it's not coming up for is our loser of this week, Tex, remains in second place, but finally the broken clock was correct. The Bard called he would lose the belt this week. He still remains in second, but the Bard called, and I'm sure he's sad he's not here to do his victory lap on this, that the wheels were going to fall off this week. And it really looks like the Bard may have been right. The wheels are falling off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he did I was going to having a look through his drops and pickups for the last week. I know he was doing a bit of some talking up of young Kenneth Walker coming good after his 31-point game, but he's backed it up with an 11, which is not terrible, but it's not 31. And Flacco's actually been quite good this week after did he pick him up? I think he picked him up for free as well, and he's got 26 this last week, but he has dropped a few to make this team, and I was having a look through last week's, and I might scroll back up to kind of see where they landed, but he dropped, and I'm not sure if we're getting ahead of, I know this is going through last week's, so I'm not
last week's fine. You can
step on the next segment ahead, but so he dropped Mark Andrews, and he knocked out his first high, and he got 9 in the second week, and then he got 2 donuts, and then a 9.5 this week, and he dropped Flowers. He got 15, and he did. Who else he got?
But dropped Allen, the most expensive fab player of the year so far. Yes. I believe we'll get to that soon.
That's the other one. And yes, and he has picked up Trey Tucker from Vegas, who didn't really back it up, but it might be a bit of a hold depending on this forthcoming potential trade as well. But yes, it's
look, I get where you're coming from, and I think it's a good move to look back at his drops, because he did drop a lot of players, put this team together, and I think I'm not confident. I was keen to get everyone was jumping all over those sloppy seconds. There was big money. People were keen. I was very keen on Mark Andrews. I'm very glad to have gotten him. I know he's been playing badly, but he's got talent. And you're right. He's dropped talent for speculative players that haven't really paid off. And when Flacco is your best player this week, and a great scorer, I actually picked him up in another league as well. But he's not taken the job. That's only because Richardson was injured. Like, as soon as Richardson's good to go, Flacco's back to holding the clipboard. So I'd be worried about this team moving forward. I think the Bard may have made the right call. But, he's still in second, and I'd rather be in second and have this team than be where I am with my team. So
he did pick up Sermon, who did get 15 in place of Taylor, and there's an assurance that he had to pay the money for. But, Ford's not doing well, and Cup's still injured, so he's got a few issues there to go for going forward.
He does. First one I have is Kurt's little comment here. It says, turns out I played all the wrong running backs this week. Nobody minds a little bit of self-deprecation about your own performance, but it must be noted that he posted this when he was well and truly going to beat Tex and get the median point. Just wants to throw. Look, guess what, guys? I won. I'm getting half the median points. I'm all good, but I played the wrong players. Woe is me. Well, my team is so good that even with the wrong running backs, I'm performing. It's just, look, he can't help himself. He says he wants to do the hug father, but this is smug father all over it.
Meanwhile, he's basically won with 4 players. His kicker being his MVP of the season so far. And, Wilson finally comes out with a good score. But he's got 36 from Chase, so that's generally going to cover if you've had a corpse in your lineup.
Next, we've got more Smug Father, Hug Father debate. Kurt from Tex. Oh, we've got him back. Well, there we go. Good. Kurt says, I hate that I can't seem to shake the Smug Father title. Also, Kurt continues to spear it. Kurt mentioned he has different mission. And then Tex says that it is very on brand for what he proposed to do. I've also got this one from Jared. In other news, I'm in the top 6 for the first time in years. Probably I'm the greatest. Look, I don't think that's actually quite funny. It's just good to see Jared doing well, being up and about. Everyone would love to see Jared succeed. And don't forget, League, that we all have a promise that if Jared wins the league, then we all have to go to the Gold Coast for the draft. That's just the deal.
Got to do what we got to do.
If it happens, I will fund some sort of like house to stay in or something. And everyone else can do their own flights.
Very good. We'll be staying at the caravan park. I don't mind. Jared, I have given him a bit of shit here and there, but I don't mind it. And it's encouraging that as he's doing well, he's going to put some of his talents to use, as he's proposed earlier in the week of doing some kind of a chart for the risers and fallers of the week.
Yeah, Jared, if you want to put that on the show, we can build that into the show, your thing, or I can put it in after, whatever you want. We can make that work. Slide into my DMs. I know you've got those skills to sliding in. I like this one from Badams. Obviously, he spends all his time just looking at fantasy football Reddits to find comparable statements. Basically, obviously this isn't me, but it's just good to see that Mikey Man the Mikester was in the exact same painful position that I'm in, investing a lot of fab in Montanian weeks, who then fell to complete shit with basically the same record as me. He's 1-4. I'm of course 2-10, but obviously he probably plays in not a median score point league. But the top comment this week goes for the little not so humble brag from MB2: death, taxes, and being MB1 like a red-headed stepchild. No matter who just wins that Martavius Bowl, it must be very pleasant for him to never have to locate the trophy. Now, he does have the trophy. He's showed me digital evidence. Okay. All right, so add fab. Now, I had to start with this one. It wasn't of the fab and waivers this week, but of course, the big one midweek, Tyson Brown, $85 on Breece Hall's backup. Dropping Drake May, who I'm pretty sure 2 minutes after this happened, got announced that he's probably going to be the starter next week now. And this is Tyson, who owns Will Levis. So, I thought for him, holding Drake May was crucial because Will Levis is no good. And we all knew Drake May was not going to play for 5 or 6 weeks, and then he'd get a start. This is now. He's dropped him. He's grabbed Braylon Allen for a lot of money. Matty Brown, who was all over the rules about this, complaining about this and whining about that. Oh, I'd be explained to him. He puts in 0. And look, a little bit of credit to the Bard here, who threw this comment on Matty Brown's whole I don't understand the rules saga, noting that he's got $100 on Braylon Allen, so you better dig deep. Did Tyson get fooled here by these two competing over the potential of picking up this player?
Yes, I was thinking the same, and I was going to get in on it, but I thought the better strategy was just leaving that as it is because it might have worked out somewhat. And it's always one of those funny ones. You never know where the appetite is. I did have a look at him, but also dropping Drake May on top of that is the other funny side of it.
Yeah. We'll get on to that. Now, Darnell Mooney was everyone's favourite love child today. I actually drafted Darnell Mooney in the draft originally, dropped him after week 1. Then he was on the MB2's team for a week, and then he got dropped. And now everyone wants the Mooney because he put up a big score. Badams has gone in for $50. Jared was keen for 45. MB2 was trying to get him back for 28. Kurt, to think that you get him at $7 is a bit absurd. But he was passed around like the town bicycle a bit for the first 5 or 6 weeks. I think this is a valid bid.
Yeah, well, it's only $5 off the next, so it seems to be quite good. It's that funny time of year where the buys come through, and you need to jump at some high scores to take some risks and fill some holes.
Next, we have the aforementioned Drake May, who this has just come perfectly for Jared. I think he's been looking for that third quarterback. He hasn't been feeling good about his quarterbacks. He's managed to pick him up for $25, which I think is great value. I think that, and with the news this week that he might be starting.
Yeah, and I'm just trying to work out, he just didn't get drafted this year, did he?
No, he was just dropped by Tyson.
Oh, sorry. Did he originally draft him? Sorry, or is he just held on to him until he just got him?
Tyson drafted him and has just dropped him this week, and Jared snapped him up. I think this is a great play from Jared. More good work from Jared as we drive towards the potential Gold Coast draft in the year Jared wins the championship. Next, Tucker Kraft. I'll be honest with you, I didn't even know he was on the waivers. I'm sure someone had this guy. He's been trending upwards for a number of weeks. Tex getting in for $24 and Tyson in there for $20. Absolutely nailed the market. Both of these guys. Tyson just missing out. A good pickup for Tex, I think.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Then Kurt loves wasting money on defenses, so he's got $7 on Houston. John, I was interested in that. Then, I did that one. Oh, sorry, that's a repeat slide. Okay, here we go. You got a defense for $1. Kurt also wanted this defense, but obviously you got the other defense. Sure, probably got a good matchup, I imagine. James has just blown $24 on Josh Downs. I don't know what you were thinking, Coin.
Yeah, not sure there. He's just taking a stab.
Jono's interested in the Las Vegas backup because presumably Minshew's about to lose his job or has been benched. I'm not sure quite what's going on, but he knows the writing's on the wall for Brissett, and he's gone because it's Drake May season. People also getting interested in Alec Pierce for Kent. Andrew, he paid nothing. Jono wants the defense. And we can put this one last. I was pretty damn happy to get Juju for nothing.
Yeah, I guess for nothing you'll take it and see how it works out. But you see, we go. He looked right this week, but he also has a couple of years of not.
I'm all in on this, Johnny Fantasy. This is what actually got me thinking about the trade that I sent you earlier this evening. We'd been talking about Hill. We've been talking about Nixon. We've been talking about Singletary. You mentioned Diggs as an option. So I knew what you were interested in. And I knew, what I was like, Diggs, Singletary, are they doing much for me? And then once I got Juju for nothing, I'm like, maybe what I should improve is my quarterback. Maybe you'd be interested in an Anthony Richardson piece who could be a lot better than what he's been, but I don't have the faith in right now. I get Mahomes. I get this stack. I've lost Rice. Juju's got the job. Like, I'm pinning all my hopes on this Juju Mahomes stack.
That's 1 week of Juju, yeah.
It's all my hopes and dreams are on this stack. So getting him, I don't know if I send that trade to you if I didn't get him for nothing or get him at all. So I'm pleased.
Well, it's all worked out. The very good timing.
It has.
Timing with the content
with the show and everything. Yeah. Okay.
So you get $0 is fab now. Yeah. So
we wouldn't have that. Can you hear the music? You can't hear the music, can you?
Welcome to the main event.
All right, finally, after 4 or 5 weeks, we have a new belt matchup.
Let's get ready to rumble!
All right, so it's been so long since Kurt held the belt. I only have a picture of him, which was 4 years ago, as I mentioned on last week's show, with the old belt. Like the old belt before I replaced it with the good belt. And other than holding it, it's just randomly in the background. But he is once again the belt champion. It's his 4th time. And he's going up, though, against one of the premier belt leaders. He is 7-time holder, which is equal 3rd. He's got 24 weeks cumulative, which is equal 2nd. He's actually got the longest individual belt record as well. Jono once held the belt for 11 weeks straight. So Jono very much a legend of the belt. and he'll be taking on Kurt this week. As we look at the matchup, how do you see this one going, Johnny Fantasy?
Yeah, I think I still see it going Jono's way. He does have a few on the bye this week, which is, we'd love to have Hunt in there. And I think Waddle's not doing great, but his defense as well, so it's stretched. But he has accounted for it. He's going to have a full lineup going in. I'd say it's going to be Jono.
Jono, I think I would agree. I think that it's looking like a pretty solid team that Jono's pulling together right now. Kurt has Darnold on bye and Mostert on bye. I think those are reasonably substantive players to have on bye for Kurt, who only has really one quarterback. Two quarterbacks. He doesn't really have a backup, so he's going to have to play a non-quarterback. Am I right about that? Let me go previous. No, he has to start Sean Watson, I believe.
Yeah, so pretty much the same thing. Yeah,
same thing. Yeah, he doesn't have any quarterback.
I think having to start Keenan Allen.
Yeah, I'm going to be backing Jono too. To take the belt back and continue to pump up those belt stats that he's built up very solidly. All right, so last week I reviewed last year's season, 2023, and how many asterisks it deserved. Of the 11 asterisk seasons we'll be handing out, that I gave the number one asterisk. It was the greatest season of all time without any real problems of note. This year, I'm going to be going to one of the many asterisk seasons. I won't tell you how many yet, but we're going all the way back to the first year of the league, 2013. Arguably not even a real year of the league, a trial year perhaps. Who knows? I'll bring up some of the information so we can look at how many asterisks this season deserves. The winner was Gibbles. Where was he on the ladder? Where was he on points scored? I don't know. These records don't exist. They are unable to be obtained. So that causes some issues in determining who should be the case. Loser of the Heroin Bowl was yourself. You don't see that being on the show. Lost the first one there to Gibbles. How many you win? What was your points? I don't know. I don't have this information, as I've said. Notable controversies to see how many asterisks you should get. Password is Taco. For those that were not in the league at the time, which was 6 of you. 6 of you, I don't think, were in the league that year. We only had a 9-person league. And so we had a default player, which was Taco, whose name was Password is Taco. And it was sort of like a bye team that everyone got to play. But not everyone got to play them the same amount of times. So we had a bye team, but not everyone got to play them the same amount of times. We also had divisions. So you had 2 divisions of 5, I recall. And again, that meant if you were in the Taco division, you got a couple of free wins. If you were in the division with me, who knew absolutely nothing about football, that was another free buy for you. So it was a very corrupted fixture. It was a 1-quarterback league. What is even the fucking point? The Matt Forte trade rate, where the Holy Father Tex came down with his words of wisdom and his silver tongue on poor, hapless Kingmaker, who at that time was nothing more than a hapless boy trying to get into American football, and managed to get me to trade in Matt Forte, who was at that point the best running back in the game. Great receiver, great. And I gave him from a bunch of magic beans. It was an absolute trade rate. And then everyone made fun of me in the chat, including a bit of a, I remember it was like a CSI gif, I'm not saying it was trade rate, but, he's going to get years for assault. And then, puts the sunglasses on and the Who cranks. Anyway, it was a bad time for us all.
It was an annual weekly rip for the remainder of the season.
It was, and it's continued. Everyone still remembers that, even though no one remembers anything else about this league. The disinterested commissioner, for those who weren't around at that time, the first commissioner of this league was not Father Tex, but his brother-in-law, what's the league term? Obrolio Incarnado or whatever. what was his name? Dan was the commissioner of this league. We drafted his house, and then 5 weeks into this thing, he lost interest in the whole thing, and we had to move to a different commissioner, a different place to draft. But it was an absolute farce of a season. It barely counts. For those that are interested, the finals were Johnny and Gibbles, as I mentioned, with also Jono and Jared, I believe. In the bottom was the aforementioned commissioner. Passwords Taco, myself, Badams, Kurt, and Tex were in the bottom 4. So, it was a weird season. It doesn't really count. How many asterisks does it get? It gets a lot. It gets 10 asterisks, which for those playing at home means there is a season that I've deemed worse than this. The 11th asterisk season is still to be revealed. There is a more bottom tier controversial season than this. You have to wait to see what that is, but just throwing it up there. Now, as someone who was there in that first year in 2013, who did lose the Heroin Bowl, what are your memories of that trash heap of the dumpster fire that we called our first season?
I'm trying to remember that because I have lost twice. I think. Oh, so I have twice. I've finished in the Ringo.
You went in the Ringo? No. You lost the Heroin Bowl.
Sorry. Oh, no, it's the first year. Sorry, I'm way off. Yeah, I mean, not much. I was quite surprised the Forte trade was that year. To be honest, I thought it was one of the next few years. But
no, I was just a poor hapless fool getting preyed on by the silver tongue of the serpent.
Yeah, I think I was just a bit. I cluelessly fumbled my way there through just listening to random advice off ESPN or whatever platform we're using at the time.
I used to listen to Matthew Berry back then. Anyway, on to our final segment. Have you been enjoying? You seem to have a bit of knowledge about wrestling. Have you been enjoying the ruthless, aggressive theme music assignments?
Yeah, it is good, and I've never quite listened or seen the words to them. And it's and I did actually recently, when I'm working from home, put some end of the 90s, start of the 90s WWF Raw on in the background when I'm working from home, and it's very inappropriate. A lot of someone got sexually assaulted and then shamed, and yeah, there's a lot of I can't believe I watched this kind of stuff as a kid, but yes, I've never listened to the words, and it's never made sense as to what the words actually mean and why these people come out to it. But it's very interesting. It's
not the hitting of women as well back in the day. But anyway, it was a different time. Eminem could say everyone rapped about homophobic stuff as well. It was a different time 25 years ago. But for this week, we will be allocating the entrance music. We've already done myself with Shane McMahon's Money, Money, Money. The champ is here. John Cena's song for Too Good Tyson. Kurt, of course, Motorhead, The Game, Triple H's. Jared was the sexy boy, Shawn Michaels. And this week we'll be looking at our father and savior, Father Tex, and his piece of music, which I will bring up.
Break the wall! Break down the walls! What you want, baby, you know you do this, and I'm your priest. Baby, what I got is not from the least. Bring it to the stage in the ways of the blues. Step in the arena and break the wall down. Step in the arena and break the wall down. You know, coming on down, Jericho. You know I got you now, you know. Yeah, Jericho. Yeah. I'm awakened from a deep sleep. You're all weak. You're living in the agony of defeat. I am the master of your whole heat. I am the path to block you like sheep. Step into the chair and break the wall down. Your heartbeat is the only sound. Step into the light and then you know you were stopped and dropped by the walls of Jericho. You know.
What do you think of that one for Father Tex?
Yeah, it's very good. I wasn't quite sure when it started how it had any relevance, but as I said, I've never really listened to the words. But also knowing Tex's fellow friend and pastor, Mr. Mike Wardrobe, massive. He's a big WWE fan as well, and I don't think he'll be upset if Tex enters to that music on Sunday.
It'd be amazing because obviously got those references to being a pastor and you're my flock, and because it's all dealing with the walls of Jericho concept, yes. And from the Bible, of course, God breaking down the walls of Jericho. So I felt that it had enough religious significance. And just to have the line that I'm your pastor and you're my sheep or similar was just, you couldn't go past that for Father Tex in this league.
That was very good. And if you do that on Sunday and then get Mike or one of the children in your church into the walls of Jericho, I'll look to favour upon you in a trade towards the end of the year.
We have a live comment from Kurt using a photo that appears to be from 2003. Very, very appropriate as Texas fantasy team got shelled and destroyed like the city of Jericho in the West Bank this week. A very topical moment from Kurt. Kurt, when he had hair, very handsome he was back then. Sorry, not to say that you're not handsome now. It's from Texas Wedding. This is just all coming together in comparison. Very good. Smug Father, love to have you there. You did shell him. I am still, when it comes to, because Kurt's here, I am still uncertain if the belt is been located. I know he sent that picture, but I've never got any clarification. I've sent some messages to him to clarify if he does have it. He does have it, Kurt. I should be able to collect it if he's available on Thursday and then deliver it to your work or wherever is appropriate. I won't be leaving it with reception though, but I can hand it off in person for you finally to get your hands on this big belt, which I don't think you've ever held since we changed to this belt format. So hopefully that comes through. Text, when you're about to put in your long wall of text in the chat after the show, you could let me know if I can pick up the belt on Thursday. That would be aces. That's it for the show this week. Thank you very much for joining me, Johnny Fantasy, former league champion and current top of the ladder.
I might add that we might need a justice of the peace for the belt transfer for the remaining of the year, just to ensure that the transactions are smooth and above board. And I was quite upset that Tex lost last week because I am playing Tex this week, and now I don't get the chance to have the belt.
I am actually a notary public, so I can notarize the transfer of the belt.
That's right. You went to Sydney or something for the training.
That's right. That was last year. Very good memory. Yeah. Thank you for coming.
Right, well, thank you, everyone. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you, Kurt, for commenting live. Thank you. We all look forward to your chat as it drops into the thing. Let's look at Sleeper though. Has anyone else commented on the trade since we've done it? No, doesn't look to be any updates. Just checking.
Nothing.
No one cares. But we care. Thank you for doing the trade. First ever on live trade on air. Fantastic situation. Fantastic story. Thanks again. And we will see you next week.